potential future alignments. Now, Obi, accompanied by leaders of the Obedient movement with Kwankwaso, with discussions set to center on strategies for national development. Dr. Yunusa Tanko shared details on X, describing the engagement as focused on strategizing for a collective interest to make Nigeria work again for all of us, and hinting at good things to come in no distant time. Dr. Maxwell Opara, a lawyer, joins us now for a chat about the workability of an Obi-Kwankwaso coalition in the aftermath of Obi's Ramadan visit to Kano and how such could impact the 2027 presidential race. Maxwell Opara, thank you for joining us on Newsday.
Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Adeze. Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be here once again.
Absolutely. So, in that speech or that rally or what we're calling it, Peter Obi specifically said that it wasn't a political visit. He was essentially there to celebrate Eid and just, celebrate being in Kano. But I mean, the videos that we were playing, the crowds were not small by any means. So how should we be reading into this visit, or are we reading too much into this visit?
Everything is all about politics because this is a political season. So whether you call it Salah, whether you call it Easter celebration, whether you call it breaking of fast, all is all about politics. All is all about strategizing. All is all about consultation. All is all about coalition and forming alliance. And on the issue of Obi and Kwankwaso coalition, strategizing, meeting Makinde, Dixon, and what have you. It's all about strategizing. Remember that the essence of a coalition, the essence of alliance is to form a very strong opposition, which will also help to enrich our own democratic processes and system. But the question there is that having gone for rally, gone to see visit Kwankwaso in Kano, there was a moment crowd and what have you. What are other strategies you have? Because if you watch what happened in 2013, 2014, that gave rise to this problem we are now in this APC government, the then leader, now the president, mobilize the people, and he strategically positioned the persons and slaughter his own ambition then. That is to say, to deputize President Buhari, because they are all Muslims. He had to front somebody to slaughter his own ambition so as to actualize the president, which is even the thing he's occupying today. Now, the question there is that who is ready to sacrifice his ambition for another person to move? Will Kwankwaso ready to deputize Obi? Will Atiku ready to step down for Obi? I hear them saying, considering the zonal system, considering the fact that APC has already taken position that the incumbent president should continue coming from the south, would they ready to sacrifice their own ambition for Obi to go? So these are all strategy. So whether they will actualize it depends on them. The ball is on their court. But we also believe that once we have a stronger opposition, we have a very united opposition, we have a very formidable opposition, it will make the ruling party to sit up. This issue of the Mr. President sending the Senate President an errand as if he's his houseboy should not even come up. The issue of the Senate President telling us that whatever the President bring, I will sign should not even come up. The issue of a National Assembly after signing a bill, the President will now call you, say, please reconsider that and change it. It should not even come up, because we don't have, as we speak in Nigeria, we don't have opposition. So that's why all of us, those of us who are in the other side, are calling, let us have a formidable opposition. It will help our democratic system.
Well said, Dr. Opara. I really appreciate how you talked about the need for a strong opposition. But if we look at the realities on ground today, that's far from the case. Some even describe, we had an analyst here describe what we have in Nigeria today as a pseudo one-party state. But I recall during an interview with an NNPP spokesperson during the election season, I think that was in 2023, and he did say clearly that at the time that Kwankwaso would not play second fiddle to the Labour Party, Labour Party's Peter Obi at the time. When you look at the body language of these same candidates that we saw in 2023, do you get a sense that anybody is willing to actually drop the ambition to get behind the other to see some progress, or is it a case of repeating history?
That is what we are complaining now, because his ego is, or somebody should, like what was approached in 2023 to deputize Obi. He refused. Then, because he felt that somebody from the north can still win. But now that it is obvious, they have shown the capacity, except we are not ready to tell ourselves the truth. Obi has shown the capacity more than every other opposition. Except we are not ready to face the facts, he has shown capacity coming from from nowhere, entering into Labour Party, and he was able to get such a result in the general election. He has also capacity. So it is now time for them to drop their ego, especially Kwakwaso, to work with Obi and deputize Obi. That is the only option, of course, because if another person from I'm talking about strategically, if somebody from the north feel that you can come and challenge somebody from the south who has not even completed their 8 years, it will not work. That is the position. But if you have opposition now decided to go with somebody from the north, if you should ask me, Obi stand a better chance because he has shown the capacity. I think we are good to go. It will make these people to sit up. The issue of somebody coming to tell Nigerians that they are preparing for inauguration, not even election, because election is done and dusted, it is an insult to all of us. It is a very big insult. In fact, that statement is enough for us to collectively vote against the incumbent. You cannot tell us that is a walkover because we have 32 governors. Who are the governors? 32 persons controlling over 200 Nigerians. It cannot stand now if we are serious, if we have a very formidable opposition. So what we are saying is that it is ego. It is trying to show off. At the end of the day, you end up making noise. Since you know that you cannot get it alone, Obi can't do it alone, Kwakwaso can't do it alone, cannot do it alone, Amechi cannot do it alone, Erufai, they can't do it alone. They need to come together and have a discussion and tell themselves the truth. Just like what President Tinubu did in 2015. He said, no, I cannot deputize you. If I deputize you, we are going to have a challenge. Let me bring another person. That's a very good strategy. In strategy, there must be give and take. That is the position. That is what we are even advising them. Because once we have, I continue to say it, once we have a formidable opposition, we are good to go. Our democracy will continue to strive. But when we have a one-party system where it is already dead on arrival, and you can see what is happening, somebody will just come out, you say that you are going to give a particular candidate 3 million votes in your state, and you have only one vote. Even most of us, we are even sure that in a free and fair election, you can't even win your polling booth. How are you going to do it apart from intimidating people, rigging? But when we have a formidable opposition where people have a choice, it will make you to sit up. It will make you to sit up.
And in the context of, everything that's been going on around the Electoral Act as we, get closer to 2027, when we look at Kwankwaso's base, the Kwankwasia movement, and the Obedient base, they're both very passionate groups of people. They're very committed to their respective leaders. How do they kind of see all of this? I mean, the crowd seemed energized, but we talk about voter apathy all the time here. I mean, is this enough to essentially rally their bases for, a strong contest to President Tinubu?
See, Cynthia, let me tell you. You witness what happened I lived in Abuja here. I play politics in Abuja here. You witness what happened in the last area council election, where Wike was coming up telling people, APC said that we have done it. Nobody voted because we don't have vibrant opposition in FCT here. I can tell you, in my house, I have about nine voters. It's only me that voted. Because they don't even know who is the councillor who was contesting. They don't even know the candidate of ADC and and so other parties. What we are seeing is posters. So people decided to go and play ball. Some decided to go to gym on that Saturday, and that was why Wike was able to have his way. Then the thing will also apply in our general election. If we don't have credible candidates, somebody who is just want to answer former presidential candidates, people will not come out to vote. That will bring all about voter apathy. But if you have somebody who is ready to work, who is ready to campaign, if you watch during the time Obi was campaigning, even where some other candidates we are finding difficult to go, Obi was there. I think in Ibama in Borno State, before other candidates, Obi was already there. Obi was everywhere. They were complementing the effort of the obedient movement, and people came out. So not you that you say that you are a candidate for only a particular state or only a particular region. It doesn't work like that. So when we have a formidable, a credible candidate, you will see that Nigeria will, especially in this 2027, now that Nigerians are not ready to go to court, asking you to go to court, they believe in that they're going to sort it out in polling booth. People will come out to vote. It's all about who is the person that is coming out. If the person who is coming out is somebody that we have known his capacity, we have tested and know the kind of leadership he's going to give us, we better ask the president to continue and finish his second term. That is the naked truth. But when we have a better alternative, we are good to go. That's what happened in the FCT area council election, because people ask, who are those people that are coming? They don't even know. They say, I beg, let Mekalango and the others, let them continue. And that was why APC was able to have their way. If you have opposition, I contested the election here in FCT in 2015, Federal House of Rep, Amagbori Federal Constituency, under ABGA. Only me in ABGA. I gave APC and the PDP the biggest fight of their life. I won that election, but though they did not declare me winner, it's a different ballgame altogether. But what we are talking about is that when we have a very vibrant candidate that is ready to help mobilize people, ask people, so that people can travel from UK, America, Asia, down to Nigeria to vote, we are good to go. And Nigeria, as I'm talking to you, they are looking for alternative. If we have a better alternative, I'm telling you, before 2 p.m. on that election day, the election is done and dusted. The candidate will emerge. Take it to bank.
We'll take it to the bank. All right, Dr. Opara, you've given us your perspective so far, but let's talk about maybe some formalities. As a lawyer, can you give us, can you walk us through what a formal coalition agreement between two or three different parties would look like? And I'm asking this question based on what might already exist regarding INEC's framework about such arrangements.
Well, you can see that the leader of ABGA, the governor of Anambra State, said that ABGA is not going to field the presidential candidate in 2027. That they're going to support President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. So the president are asking, what of those that are contesting Federal House of Rep and the Senate and the other political offices? He said that they will fashion it out. Now, you also hear that PDP faction led by Wike, they are working towards having President Tinubu as their own candidate. So how they are going to do it, that I don't know. I think the only area to do it is to make it very simple, is for you not to field any candidate in the presidential position. So if on opposition, as we have them now, we have the party registered by Dixon, we have Labour Party, we have ADC, we have some other political parties. If they have decided that they're going to have one presidential candidate, that is allowed under our electoral law. It's all about telling your party members, vote for this person. That does not mean that you cannot field candidates in other positions. So you don't even need to have a formal agreement that will be registered in INEC. It's all about understanding between you and their political parties. So if some other persons who is in that party say that, no, I want to get a ticket to contest this particular election, and you refused, can the person approach court? If the person approach court, will court to treat that as an internal party affairs or somebody's violation of rights, or would they see it as a constitutional issue that court need to adjudicate on. It's all about how the person and the party manages that. Time will not allow me to start explaining what electoral law said in that, but the simple way of going it is that handling such a situation is that let the party agree that we are not going to have a candidate. Let us support this party. Let's have alliance with these people and support their candidate, the candidate running in their own party. Whatever agreement they had should be and their own internal affairs arrangement of that political party. But the major thing there is that, do we have a united opposition as we speak, or do we have coalition of jokers? If I should use the word, borrow the word from Rufai Sini. So if they are ready, they should be, by now they should be able to say, anyway, we are going in this direction. Nigeria should have known where they are going by now. Though somebody told me that they have agreed on what to do, but why they have decided not to do it is that if they come up with it by now, the EFCC will start chasing them one after the other. I'm quoting one of the things somebody told me at ADC office. I think that was a couple of days ago. So, but whichever that is the case, Nigerians, we are waiting for them. We have not seen a formidable opposition. What we are seeing is meeting upon meeting, visitation upon visitation. Let them talk to us. Let us hear from them.
Dr. Maxwell Opara, thank you very much for joining us on Newsday to talk all things 2027.